Give me a time when you had to go above and beyond the call of duty in order to get a job done. Well, in history class, my teacher required us to make a timeline of the history within a span of years, and I had to research online first, and that I used a lot of articles that I found online to help me benefit within the scale of the project. I needed to work with what I had, I guess, but I also have to use it to its fullest potential. And we had to whittle it down to the most important moments in history while giving a lot of information about it. So I guess that's when you have to go above and beyond, is just find the most important things in history that happen. Describe the most creative work-related school project you had completed. In history class, we were learning about Egypt, and I decided that it would be a good idea to, I guess, create the pyramids out of cake. So I actually created the Pyramid of Giza into a cake, and after we were done learning about the pyramids, my teacher allowed the students to eat some of the cake I had made, and everybody enjoyed it, and everyone was happy that day. And yeah. Do you feel some rules should be obeyed more strictly than others? In my opinion, I'd say that all rules should be obeyed equally, because I feel like once one rule has begun to be disobeyed or isn't really working, or the people aren't really following it anymore, that starts a trickle effect of more people disobeying that law, and then eventually they're going to disobey another law. And there's a domino effect, another law, and another law, and then eventually big laws, big rules, and then crime increases. I just believe that every law should be equally obeyed, because if not, then consequences could happen, I guess, in my opinion. How strictly do you believe your coworkers / peers normally follow the rules? Do you approve of their attitude? Well, as I said in the previous question, I try to encourage my peers to follow the rules as best as they can, because if not followed absolutely correct, then consequences in the workplace can happen. It's just a bad environment when people start disobeying not the precautions, but the rules the boss obeys us to follow. And then tensions rise, and it's just a nasty place if people don't follow rules, because rules are set in place to keep peace most of the time, but they're set because a lot of people believe in them. So it's supposed to help the common good of people. What is the best decision you have ever made? I think my best decision that I've ever made would be taking my junior year of high school seriously, because previously I told you that in my sophomore year I had struggled major, and I hadn't been getting good enough grades to my standards, and I had been slacking on schoolwork and assignments, and how I just didn't believe at that moment. I didn't believe that it was worth it, because I had been doing so awful that I felt like there was no hope. But after summer and after my grandpa passed, I felt like I just needed a change. I just needed a change, and wanted to show myself that I am very powerful, and I have a lot of confidence, and I have confidence that my grandpa showed me. His passing showed me that I had resilience and confidence in myself. So during my junior year, I had made a goal for myself during the summer to put all my efforts into junior year and show that I had true potential, because guidance counselor always told me that junior year is your most important year. So I believe that I needed to put all my hard work and all my focus into junior year. So I believe that the best decision that I had ever made in my life would be taking junior year seriously, because it absolutely paid off. I was able to accomplish many things. I got not straight A's, but I got multiple A's. I made honor roll, and I made honor roll consecutive times, and I'd never made honor roll before in high school, and that's really rewarding. Once you actually try hard and you realize your potential, it really pays off. How did you go about making the decision mentioned in the question before? Well, as I said, I had been I don't want to say inspired, but the death of my grandpa really gave me motivation to want to try my hardest, because he always believed in me. He'd be my mentor, and having lost a mentor or one of the most important people in your life really changes you. You don't want to do things anymore. He was like my father figure. And losing him really gave me want in the world. It gave me want. It made me want to do good. It made me want to do better with my life and change it. Not always be struggling, but using my brain and all the knowledge I had in my brain to its full potential within school. And it just gave me a desire to do better than I had before. And again, a lot of it was also because of my sophomore year and how rough I was doing, and all the struggles I went through. I didn't want to do that again. I was done with all the struggles that I had gone through. I couldn't do it again in junior year. I knew that if I didn't make a change within my schedule and my priorities, then nothing would change. My mom always told me that if you want to make a change and you do the same things, nothing will change. And I lived by that. In sophomore year, I used to watch YouTube videos for consecutive hours in the day. In junior year, I changed myself. I was like, come on, John. If you really want to do better, how are you going to do better by watching the same amount of YouTube every day? And I thought that maybe a change could happen. But it wasn't going to happen if I didn't change my habits, my bad habits, and replace those with good habits. I knew it wouldn't change at all. So I knew that I had to give myself parameters with fun time, I guess, with YouTube. So I reward myself every day after doing my studies and my homework, and I'd let myself watch YouTube for an hour a day after doing all my studies. And it really helped me. It gave me a sense of, if I actually try my hardest all day, I can get rewarded at the end of the day, rather than just sitting back and watching YouTube all day without any rewards. Because if you do that, you feel guilty, and you feel guilty that you wasted your time on nothing. And after a while, you forget what those YouTube videos are even about. So it's not really worth it to watch YouTube videos unless you get a sense from it, like watching science videos and those types. Because those videos actually give you knowledge rather than watching gamer videos. So, what was the worst decision you had ever made? I believe it's all the same. What was my worst? It was not using my full potential in my sophomore year of high school. After sophomore year, during the summer, I realized that I really had resilience and potential in my work style, but I just wasn't using it. I had it locked in my brain. I would just use my brain energy on watching YouTube rather than actually doing work. And it really hindered my ability to do well in school, because I just focus on, when's the next PewDiePie video coming out, rather than, maybe I should be doing my homework. Because in my sophomore year, I didn't focus on my future. I just focused on what is going to give me the most satisfaction at the moment. And again, my mom always told me, do you want to work hard for the next few years, or do you want to slack off, have fun for the next few years, and then work hard the rest of your life? So I chose to, after that sophomore year, I chose the first idea. Work hard for the rest of your life. Work hard for the next few years and be able to have fun for the upcoming years and all the years in my future. Because if you want instant satisfaction, YouTube is your best way to go. But if you want to be successful in the future, you've got to work hard now and build good habits that you can progressively make better and better throughout your years as an adult, and that you can have the best potential during a job in the future and not slack off. Because if you're applying to a job in the future, or if I'm applying to a job in the future or college in the future, there's going to be 10 people that are better than me. So I've got to set a goal for myself, that I know that there's going to be more people that are smarter than me, better at math. So I have to give myself good habits that maybe those students don't have. Maybe they slack off even though they're smart, but they don't. Good habits go farther in the long run, because that shows that you're more determined to do your work, rather than always just being smart and, I'm smart and I can lay back all day because I'm the smartest one in the class. But that's not all true, because if you're determined and you actually want to work, you'll look up answers on the computer. You'll watch videos on Khan Academy to get you more involved and learn more about the class, rather than just memorizing whatever is on the board and knowing that for the test. Because if you memorize something for a test, that just has you memorize that for a test. If you look it up and you watch videos on it, that sets it in stone in your mind, and you can have it for the rest of your life, not just for tests, but for the future in your job. And yeah, do you have any regrets regarding the question above. No, I don't. I don't have any regrets for the struggles I went through during sophomore year, because I believe they really taught me, as I said before, they really taught me resilience and how much potential and power I had within myself that I didn't know I had before. It showed me that if you really try your hardest in school, then you can accomplish your goals, because determination goes a long way when you want to find out the answer for a problem, maybe in science class, and you can really go a long way with confidence and determination, because I found it out firsthand. You can have a lot of knowledge from teachers that know that you're confident and know that you want to learn more. Because as I said, students that memorize everything on the board, like, they don't show the teacher that they want to learn more. They just show the teacher that they know it. They know it. But for me, in my experience, I was the one that needed to learn more, needed to pay attention more. And I showed my teacher. I stayed after school a lot, mostly almost every day. And I showed him that I really cared about the subject, and I didn't just lay back and look at the board and memorize it offhand, but I'd go after school, I'd ask him questions, I'd learn more about the subject. It'd be a better relationship between me and him, because he'd know that I wanted to learn, and I didn't just want to sit back and memorize it. I just would want to learn more about it, would want to learn more about the topic, not just what we were learning in class, but maybe more about science and the natural world, and gave him confidence in my understanding of how to approach things and not just memorize it. But yeah, thank you for your time. It was great speaking to you, and have a good day.